questions. So today we are talking about startups. How to build a startup from ideation to implementation to getting the final product ready. I'm sure it is going to be a very insightful session, not just for you all, but even for a few teachers who are here and for us. Welcome, Manish, sir. Welcome. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, hello students. Thank you very much. So today we are going to discuss about the startups. So before we start that, I just want to make sure that you're all able to hear me loud and clear. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to unmute. You just need to put in chat if you're not able to hear me. Okay. I would like to request all of you to keep yourself mute throughout the video, throughout the session. We would be doing some quick polls, or I would be asking a few questions. So without unmuting yourself, you would be answering in the chat so that the class is not disturbed. Okay. Okay. So today we are going to talk about the how we start a business. Now, why we want to start a business, or why you should be interested in. As Parul was saying, you sometimes get projects from the school to do a product ideation or to prepare a business. Now, everybody is talking about the business because of the recent success of few startups like Byju's, Paytm, or Bharat Pay, or other many startups. There are a lot of people who are interested to do startup, but startup or starting a new business is not a very easy thing. You see, there are out of 100 startups or 100 businesses that starts in every year, 90% or 95% fail. Only 5% or one or two of them are to the pinnacle of success, and the rest of them just do a mediocre business, and 90% go into the dust. Means they are not successful. They are not able to sustain themselves, right? So today we are going to talk about it. What are the startups and what are we doing? So we all have ideas. So we are going to learn today how do we generate the ideas? How do we create the ideas? Now, you can think of this is in a practical scenario. If you wish to plan your business, you may have certain ideas or certain problems that you want to solve, but you may not know how to convert that into a business. So some of us are very successful. Some of us are not very successful in bringing our business into the reality. So today we are going to learn about a few steps, how we generate the business idea, what are the businesses, how do we create a product market fit, or how do we plan the business. So it's not like a video or a webinar which will teach you how to be a millionaire in 1 month, right? Don't think it this way. Running a business, starting a business is a very hard-working job. It's more than your full-time job. So it's not that easy. Okay. So the first thing that we will be covering in this session is how we will learn how do we generate the ideas. What is the ideation stage of any kind of business? How do we generate the ideas? Because you may think I'm able to, if you relate it to your own studies, you may say, I'm good at maths, I'm good at science, I'm good at English, I'm good at music, I may be a musician, I want to be a mathematician, I want to be a scientist, I want to be an engineer. So you have multiple ideas or you have multiple interests. So which one you want to produce into a real business? So we are going to look at that. Then so we understand that by understanding our environment, understanding our limitations, and how do we remove them, right? And how do we once we have decided that what kind of business we want to do, how do we know that this business is going to be successful? Will the people like the idea? Will the people buy my product? So that is we called a market validation of your idea. Then we once we have a market validation of idea, then we know that okay, this business is going to be successful. Peoples are going to buy my products or take my services. we need to define the value proposition and who is the target audience, so that you can work on the marketing and distribution, other operational aspects of the business. So you will see out of all the 6 7 steps, 5 are really just the planning, right? There are many management principles which says 80% of the time goes to planning, only 20% goes to the execution. Similar way, your majority of your efforts in even in your studies goes towards the planning. Only the rest of it goes to the implementation. Then you will find support in the business and investors. So we are going to look at that, how we do it. Okay, so first we would start with the ideation stage. So what is an ideation stage? Ideation stage means that you may have some ideas in your mind, or you may not know where to start, which business to start. You may have multiple talents, or you may have multiple interests, or you may find multiple problems in your society or in your place. So which one we should go after? How do we know? How do we generate the ideas? So there are, since we have a lot of ideas, the first thing we do is we write down all the idea on a piece of paper, or you can do it on a Google Sheet, or you can do it on your tablets or notepads, or wherever you are comfortable with, however you are comfortable with. You just need to note down the brief of the idea, maybe just like a topic, right? So you just need to compile all the ideas that you are coming in. Ideas come at different stages, right? You may be having a bath, you may be walking, you may be traveling, you may be sleeping. So ideas will keep on coming to you. So what you have to do is just keep on writing them. Now, the next stage is what you should be doing is to create a mind map. Now, what is a mind map? Mind map means that you have to answer a few questions in your mind map. You have to see why you want to pursue idea. So, for example, if you want to create a educational platform, you may want to invent a device which helps to turn the pages of your book. You maybe want to invent a device which wakes you up in the morning. There are alarms, but maybe you just close the alarm and then you don't want to wake up, right? So you may want to you may want to invent a device which forcefully generate you, wake you up. Or you may want to have any other a device which you put into your, as like a helmet, and you put into your head, and all the studies will come into your head automatically. So you may have some crazy ideas. So you want to create a mind map where you say, okay, why you want to do this, why this idea, who you are doing it for, who is the target audience, and what are you going to do, what are their benefit out of this particular idea, right? So once you know these answers, then you are ready to go. So do as much as details, try to visualize what is the benefit of this idea, how you are going to implement it, how much you will charge, how much you will what will be your cost, as you are able to generate. Creating the mind maps or creating a flow chart of all the answers will help you to think clearly of which idea you can understand deeply, which idea you cannot understand deeply. So if you cannot think of something deeply, you should not be doing that anyway. If you are able to think to a deeper stages, then means you have some talent towards that particular idea. So you should be pursuing that. Once you have, so one idea is one mind map, and then you just monitor, keep it, how clearly you can make it. Once you make a mind map, just sleep over it, just forget about it for now. Because sometimes the idea come because you are looking at things, and then you say, oh, I should do this, but it may not be your deep interest, right? Because you just want to do something because you see somebody else doing it, or somebody else get successful, that's why you want to do it. But that's maybe not your core expertise, or that's not really what you want to do, so you just sleep over it. But if the idea keep coming to you because of different sources, because of different cues, uh, um, different ideas from different people's different situations, then it means this is something you really want to do, right? So like for example, if you love science, you will see everywhere scientific reasons of, or you will try to find scientific reasons for doing things. So it means you love science. If you cannot find it, means you don't love it, right? So it means that if the thing keep on coming back to you, the same idea, if you go anywhere, you see in the situation, you think you want to do it, that means you really have a passion towards that idea and you want to develop it in the future. So that's what that is called the ideation stage. Means how you know what ideas you should be focusing on. Then the next stage is to identify your limitations. Now you can put into the chat after this slide, what are the main reason that you think you will not be able to pursue. So there are few standard limitations that people's are facing. So they don't know where to start. They don't have enough time of doing it. They don't have enough money to do it. They may not know how to write a business plan, or they may not have a right skill. Maybe you want to do a coding, but you don't know how to code. You don't know, you cannot compete with the major player. There are already good players in the market. There are already people who are doing business in the same idea, on the same idea. So you will not be able to sustain. You maybe think, oh, if I follow certain things, what the other people think about me? If I fail, what if the thing, what will the people do about me? How would I feel? How would my parents feel? You may think that the timing is not right. Maybe I'm too young to follow any dream, or I'm too old to follow a dream. You guys are all young, so being feeling old is not really a concern. But maybe you feel you are too young. You are just in a grade 7, grade 8. That's why you don't think you are ready for a business. But that's not the reason. You may think I'm not smart enough, or I'm too old, or I'm too young. People will not take me seriously. So there are a lot of limitations that comes into before you really start the business. And many people's they don't start a business, or they don't start up an idea just because of these inherent limitations. So you may go in, think of why any of which will any of these limitations apply to you. What that would be? Would that be money? Would that be time? Would that be that fear of failure? Would that be the that you are too young? Or would that be the skill set that you think you don't have? So put in there, put into the chat, what would you think that would be a limitation to you?
Please give the number on the chat,
Yeah,
whichever you think.
just have a minute to do that. Okay. Cool. I think I can see many people are answering. Well, thank you very much for taking the participation. Yes, many of the peoples you are replying, 1, 2 means you don't have time, you don't know where to start, you are too young, or you need professional or examinations. Believe me, these limitations are just in the mind. You can figure out. Now, how do we overcome these limitations? Do you need a professional degree to start a business? Really, no. The answer is really no. There are many successful entrepreneurs that are just just drop out from the school after doing 8, 10, or first year of the graduation. It does not mean that I'm asking all of you to drop out from the school tomorrow. That's not really what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that having no education does not prohibit the success factors. But education certainly helps in setting up the and being in successful. Like if you are basic, you need to be good in mathematics, you need to be good in logics, you need to be good in the certain educational levels, and schools and universities help you to become mature, help you to think clearly, help you to build connections, help you to be socially responsible, right? So those are important things as well in the business. So you should not be thinking that, okay, now I get my idea, I should stop my schooling. That's not what you really be doing. So few ways to overcome your limitations. The first thing is you need to really find a motivational reason, a dire need why you want to do a business. You just want to do a business because it's your family business, or you have a lot of money and you want to start something, or you just want to start because my friend is starting, right? So that's not the right reason. So you need to have a real motivational reason to do it. So it can be a goal in your life. A goal can be to own a Lamborghini. A goal can be to buy a huge house. The goal can be to help society or humanity. There are few businesses who have a goal to create a charity fund of $200 billion. So that's a business. There is a guy who is doing business just for this purpose. So he doesn't want to have a huge house, he doesn't want to have expensive cars, but what he want to do, he want to build a fund to be able to donate $200 billion. That's his goal. So he is doing whatever he can do to reach that goal. So you need to have a goal in your life which you think you will be trying to overcome from the business. So it can be society, it can be your personal. So you may want to say that you want to have a house like Antarctica, right? You want to buy a house next to Mukesh Ambani, and same height, or maybe more than that, or you want to buy a Burj Khalifa. So you can have that goal in your life, and then you can work towards it. So that's the motivational part of it. Then another tip that I would say is to surround yourself with like-minded peoples. Now those give you energy. So your environment in which you are living, your surrounding in which you are living at this point of time is going to affect how you think. What are your culture? What is your value? Whether you will be able to um, sustain in the business or not, that will all depend on what kind of peoples you are living with. If you are living with mostly peoples who are just looking for a life, easy life, then you want to have an easy life. If you surround yourself with peoples who want to do something in their life, then you also want to do something in your life. So that's a very, very important part. So you should be joining the LinkedIn groups, not the Facebook groups, not the fashion groups or comedy groups. Those are a time wasting exercise. You may want to join them for a few minutes, but not really more than that. So you should be joining professional groups, subscribe on LinkedIn, see what are the other business people are posting. There are always motivational posts. There are discussions on the forum. Read the business news. Um, Instead of watching the politics. So that would help you. Follow certain blogs, for example, Harvard Business Review, for example, the Can. There is a Your Story. So they are publishing the stories of young entrepreneurs. Even they are on Facebook. If you love Facebook, you go and subscribe to the channel of Your Story. So they are sharing the groups, sharing the story of successful entrepreneurs, which will motivate you. Founder Institute. If you know somebody who is in your relationship, who is already doing a business, try to talk to them rather than try to talk about the other things. Try to talk to them about the business, what they are doing, what are the challenges they are facing. So that will help you to create a environment around you which is conducive to think about the business rather than just thinking about the politics or fashion or entertainment only, right? So that's the important part. If you want to be in the business, if you really want to set up the business, you may want to follow some LinkedIn influencer. There are motivational influencers, there are leadership figures, There are top voices on LinkedIn who are constantly sharing the motivational ideas on the LinkedIn. You can follow them to start learning from them. So change your environment. Then of course, if you even if you are not professionally qualified as an MBA or as an IIT, you can still learn and study from the others. And life is going to be a continuous learner. I am now 40-year-old. I'm still learning. All right. And the purpose of doing this webinar is to learn and teach together. So learning is an important aspect of anybody's life. So where you can learn, there are some free courses. If you want to join, you can log on to edx.org, or you can log on to ellison.com. So these are the two websites which are providing free courses from the international universities. There are many courses which are free. You can join them on leadership, on business, on technology, on English, communication, everything. There are tons of courses. Then there are certain free paid courses which you can join on Udemy or LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn Learning has a lot of courses, so you can learn from them. Apart from the school, now this is all in addition to the school. This is not a substitute of school. Okay, so you still need to be graduate. You still need to learn to be able to do a good performance in the 12th and 11th, 10th and 12th. But if you really want to start, you can start to spend some time on these online platforms, maybe half an hour of your day, or 2 hours a week, or 5 hours a week. So if you start to build up slowly these skills, by the time you are ready to do the business, you will have enough skills to be able to be successful, right? And you are now learning as well by joining these webinars. Even though you have exams upcoming, you are still learning. So that's very good of you. Or you can find a mentor, right? So you can spend time who has been doing these things, who can help you, who can guide you towards this. So you can find your mentor in your community, in your friends, in your parents, in your relatives, or you can find influencers who are online, right? So there are mentor supports. So these are the things. So this is up to the ideation stage only. So you have idea, you know your limitations, you assess your limitations, how to overcome them. So you need to start learning, surround yourself with those people who you want to be with. So you need to surround your people with the only people who you want to be, right? You don't want to surround with the people who are pulling you down rather than pushing you up. So you want to surround yourself with a good environment. So once you have this, and now you want to start the business. So starting point of business is always, there are few aspects of business, three key aspects of any kind of business. The first is the product or the service creation, right? So the first step in a business is to create a product or a service. What you want to sell, that's called production stage. The second aspect of the business is the marketing or distribution of that product. So it's not good that you just make a product and keep in your store, right? You have to go and distribute this, or you have to sell this to the product, to the consumer. So you need to bring that product to the consumer. So there's the second aspect of marketing and distribution. The third aspect of the business is to have operational efficiency. Why you are doing a business? If you are not efficient for generating a profit, if you're not making profit, it's useless, right? So all the efforts are interchanging. So you create you create a product, you market it, and you see whether you are profitable or not. If you are not profitable, you need to redo your product and services and remarket it. Look at the profits. If it's still not making profit, you need to continue the cycle unless you are operationally efficient, you are good in marketing, and you are making profits. So that's the key aspect of the business. Now we are going to talk about one of them, the production. So what is the product? Now, some people's you might be seeing, there are startups who are generating the products, right? Who are providing you platform, who are launching a service. There are coding websites. They're all businesses, right? They all are, but they never started with what they are now. They always started slow. They always started small. So that is the important part. Getting a product is fit, which is fit for market. So how do you do a product market fit? So the first thing we when we are generating any kind of product is we identify and understand the market. What is the market? For who I am making the product? Whether I'm making a product for a 50-year-old or a 5-year-old. So the product would depend on who is the market and what are their needs, why they are, what kind of pain points do they have, right? What are their problems? Then you would be defining your offerings. Once you understand their pain points, then the offering would come. Then you need to think about how it's going to be distributed to them, whether you are going to sell them online, whether you need to go to their house, whether they need to come to your store. What you will use? You will use an app, you will use a website, you will use a market newspaper ad, or what, how you are going to distribute it. um, then you need to create a story around it, and then you need to experiment, right? Once you understand the pain points, you are having a distribution, you need to experiment. uh, and you need to see whether your product is fitting to the market needs or not. If not, then you need to change again, understand the market again, and then do the product. So it's like an iterative cycle. You have to continuously doing that. So, do you have any problem in mind? Do you think you have any idea that you might have think in the last? Just put that into the chat. If you have anything that you think there should be a solution for, or you may want to work on it. You want to work on a platform. You want to work on. You want to invent something. Do you have something in mind? Can you put that in chat? For example, Inkclick is helping you to learn new topics, right? By sharing, by creating the network, by bringing in the experts. So that's a thing that Inkclick is helping the students by learning a new skill. So the similar way, you can find any other business, or you can find any other problem that you think you have as a student, as a consumer, right? So that's the thing. Okay, so keep doing that. Now we will move forward. So but if you can keep doing, you can keep putting into the chat what are the problem that you are going to solve. Okay, once you have a product or a service, you need to have a validation by the market before you start before you jump into the production, or before you invest your money into the product, into making the product, or delivering the services. You need to make sure that market will accept it, and at the price that you want to offer it, and whether that price is sustainable to you or not, right? There are many products. So market validation basically means that you need to talk to a potential client about their problems and pain points, and whether and getting to know how your idea of the product will help them. So that is means the market validation. So basically you will need to find those people who you want to serve, and then try to talk to them whether what the product that you are offering will help them or not, right? So that is called the market validation. Market validation can be just only by survey, or you may make a small prototype of your product. So prototype means that you are just going to make a fake product, like a dummy product, which will show you the basic, which will show a basic features. It may not be solving, it may not be perfect, it may not be error free, there may be errors, it may not look very good, but it does the basic functions. So you will develop the prototype, or the minimum fit product, which is enough for functions, and then you will bring it to the customers to say, okay, whether this product is useful for them. You will give them for testing, whether it helps them or not, right? Once it says that they are happy with it and they are happy to pay for it, it's not just they are happy with it, they need to be happy to pay for it also, because there are maybe solutions which they are already solving. There is no problem in this world which may not be which may not have been solved by one way or the other way in the past. It might be free, it might be problem, it might not be the perfect way of solving things. There must be alternatives how they was solved earlier, right? For example, to give you an example, that when the Airbnb started, there were hotels, there were renters in the market, but the only problem was to find them. For a traveler to go to a new country and find a house for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day was not really possible, because then you have to go into the market, find who is there, or call them in advance, try to ask agents who will charge you a good fee. So that would not have been possible, right? When the air what so what Airbnb did was just to help the both the service provider and also the users to find the place. So what they make it easier, right? So the solutions were there already, but they made it easier for the market to help to find each other. So that's the solution. They provided the solution, and people were happy to pay for it. So that's why their business was very successful. So you have to think how their existing problems are being solved, and then how your idea is going to be solving them, plus whether they will be happy to pay for it or not. So that's called market validation. And then you have to also do a market research. Apart from the market validation, you need to do a market research by looking at the SWOT analysis. What is the SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis means a strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat analysis of your idea. So you need to identify what is the strength of my idea, what are its weaknesses, what does it not solve, what are the opportunities, what kind of markets it will be able to solve, what are the threats, means what are the alternatives. Maybe people will copy my idea, maybe people may not want to pay for it, maybe there may be some other product after I launch that is easy to copy, somebody else will copy immediately, and I will be out of business. So that's a threat, right? So you have to answer following questions: whether what is the demand, if the product, if it's a product, will who will buy it, who will use it, what else is in the market there already, is it, if they are they successful or not, and what price you will put your product. So these questions are not exhaustive, these questions are just as indication. You may want to find a bit of more details about the market. How big is the market, how many people would be buying, what kind of price they would be paying, how they are solving the problem now, what are the alternatives, whether you will have a competition, and whether it's easy to copy your idea or not, right? The more difficult your idea is, the more higher likely to be successful. If your idea is easy to copy by anybody, then you once you launch, and if people are liking it, there will be tons of competitors, tons of copycat peoples who would immediately jump onto it and then start to do the service. Now, to also apart when in the market research, you also have to understand what is the value from the customer perspective, what kind of value you want to charge, because you need to do the pricing. So once we have established the product, you need to think about the marketing and distribution, what price you will charge from them. So the pricing charging is the, you need to understand who is the customer, who is my primary customer. Just only select one customer, one type of customer. When we say customer segment, means that we are talking about a type of customer. When I'm talking about the, for example, for Inkclick, the primary target customer would be the students, right? Maybe up to from starting from grade 5 to grade 12. So that's what they are serving. Then for somebody else, it could be it would be some other product. There may be some people's who, there are tons of other like upgrade, they are targeting only graduate students, right? So this way you need to define your specific customer who you are going to solve, and then you need to understand them. Who are they, how old are they, what are their likings, what are their problems. So you need to understand their pain points, what they want to get done. The pain could be from the pains could be the benefit from negative aspects, means they may have already doing something, they may have some solutions, but it takes time, it takes a lot of money. The product is not good, that's why they have bad feelings about it. there may be underperformance. Maybe they are the features which are already available in the current solution is not enough. They may not function well. That there are problems in how things work. There are major difficulties. There are fear and risk of power, trust, loss. So these are customer pains. You may find customer pains also in some positive aspect, like nice to have. So you may give them additional savings. Maybe your product is doing the same thing as any other product, but it's saving their time, saving their money, saving their efforts, or it's a better quality, or it has specific features or design, or is a better design, or customer service. Take an example in the mobile phone market. There are multiple companies who are giving you the same mobile, right? There are Samsung, Apple, Xiaomi. There are many. Their basic feature are same. They have app, right? You can call, you have internet, you have social media, but some are very good with the movie, some are very good with the camera, some are very good with the design, some are very good with the gaming apps, some are very good with the fast application, some are very good with the storage. So they have all have different features. So it depends on what kind of what they are focusing on. So they differentiate by add-on services. The competition is there. They may have bigger religions. They may have better social consequences. Some startups are nowadays trying to build a social impact, like hiring the disadvantaged peoples, hiring only the ladies, only the girls, so that they can help them, right? So there's a different type of benefit they are providing to their potential customers. Because if, as a customer, you want to save the environment, so you will want to buy from a business who is environment friendly, right? You may want to provide somebody who is not harming the trees, they are not dumping the chemicals into the grounds, or they are helping with the local communities, not really buying imported items. So that's the customer understanding. So for that, you need to understand your customers. What are their pain points? What are their needs? And how you can help them, help in their needs. Human has basic needs, right? Human have needs belonging, needs for belonging. You may want to belong to a community. You may want to be feel safe. You may want to feed yourself. So if you are able to satisfy these needs, you are good enough in the product. So that's the customer value proposition. So then you have to market the program. So marketing means that you need to create a journey map of the customer, which is going to be starting from the awareness of your product, to compare your products, to purchasing of your product, to take the actual service, and to become loyal to your brand. So there are few digital touch points, there are few physical touch points, there are some managed touch points, means the company manage them, and sometimes there are unmanaged, means company doesn't manage it, but they outsource it. So we call this a marketing funnel, a marketing journey map, where you can talk about the customers, how you are touching them, how you make them aware of your product, whether digitally, whether physically, right? You may want to do a Facebook ad, you may want to do a website ad, you may want to have your own website, you may want to go to physical means, like Inkclick is contacting the schools, and they are talking to then the school is making aware of this product to you guys, right? So that's physical touch point. They have a Facebook ad, they have a website, so that's a digital touch point. So awareness. Then the considerations, because there may be other competitors. So the other competitors may be so how they make comparison easy, how they make the purchase of any products and services easier for them, right, for you. Then the service, how you actually using the service of the digital of the Inkclick. So whether it's easy or difficult, and then whether you become loyal to the platform or not. So that's the marketing platform. So these are the marketing things you have to think about your business. There are many other things. We will not be able to cover all of them in a short webinar, so it requires much more detailed discussion. Then you need, once you have defined the marketing, then the next step is to create a business model. Now, there were some questions, if we can get this funding, right? So for getting a funding, you need to create a business plan for your business. Apart from identifying the market fit, making a product available, making a sample of the product, and defining the marketing, reaching the marketing, maybe able to sell some of the products, you need to have a clear business model. Now, the business model means that there are 9 blocks in this business model, which is going to help you understand your entire business in one page. So there are few blocks like customer segment, which is defining who is your customer. Then you have a unique value proposition, means what is your value which you are going to give to your customer segment. Your unfair advantage. What is your advantage over the others, right? Unfair advantage would mean that what is the one thing that you have over the others, which others cannot copy. So if you have something which is available with everyone, that is not a unique advantage. You may have some patented technology. You may have some SOP which nobody else can follow. You may have certain group of talented people which nobody else can have. So then you have that unique advantage. Or maybe you are just starting out early and you become so big that the other people are not able to copy you. Then you have identify your problems and solutions for your customer segment. So the numbers are there, so you can follow by step. The first step is to identify your customer. The second step is to look at the problems. Third step is to identify how you are going to charge them. Fourth step is to find the solution. Fifth step is what is the unique about this, how you are going to distribute it, what are the key metrics for success, and then what will be the cost structure, and finally what is the unfair advantage that you can create in your business over the other people. So that's a business model that you have to create. Once you have created this business model, you need to compile a financial plan. Now, financial plan, what is financial plan? Financial plan means that you need to include all the estimates of your business. How much will be your profit, how much will be your cash flow, how much would be the income, what will be the profit over the next 3 to 5 years. And then you need to make these numbers based on your estimate, but you have to make these number and present to the investors. Once you have make all the financial plan, then you are ready to go for funding. So for funding, you can apply for the incubators. There are incubators in around the world. You can supply to them. They will help you not only with the money, but also with the training, technical training. There are some accelerators. If you have already started a business but you want to accelerate your business or want to grow your business, there are accelerators. Then there are angel investors who are ready to invest your business. But for angel investor, your business need to be already earning some profits. For example, you might have been seeing Shark Tank, right, in India, or Shark Tank in US. So you may want to develop you may want to participate in those platforms, but they are not always available, right? So but there are similar investors like the sharks who want to understand your business and want to give you the profit. But for them, you need to have clear business model, clear financial plan, marketing strategy, a product which you can show. So you will see in Shark Tank, the participants are bringing their products and services, right? They are asking what is the revenue, what is the cost, how much money you are already making. Otherwise, they will not be investing. So in order to get started, you need to have some initial plan, initial marketing, initial revenue, and then you will be able to get the investor. So in summary, to summarize all the things, you need to have a ideation stage. So ideas, you need to prepare yourself and create a mind map of the idea. The most detailed marketing mind map you have, then you need to then you select that one, and then understand your limitations and work on to remove them, right? Third step would be to have a clear market validation of your idea. Then you need to refine your value proposition and target customer. Then you need to talk about the customer value, customer journey, and then you create a business model, and then finally you create a financial model to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would repeat one more time the summary of what we have learned so far in the last 20, 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. So what we have discussed today is we have to have a ideation stage in our mind. What kind of product we want to generate, what kind of problem we want to solve. So whatever, there may be multiple ideas that we may come across in our mind, right? So what we have to do is we have to create a mind map in our own for each idea. So mind map will be about what is this idea about, what I'm going to do, who are the target customers, what I'm going to do, how is going to benefit them, whether how will I charge them, what will be the cost, how will I distribute this. So you have to think about every aspect. So I have shared you a business model canvas, right? This business model. So you can think about all these 9 things. Who is the customer? What is their problem? What kind of solution I'm going to give them? What is the value proposition that I'm going to give them? How I will charge? How much will be my cost? How I will distribute this product and services to them, right? So you can answer these questions in your mind map. Once you have, so some of the ideas you will be able to have a very detailed answer. Some of the ideas you may just maybe stop at one or second step or third step only. So the idea for which you have all the answers means this is something you really want to do. Then you need to understand about your own limitations and to think how you're going to remove them. So your limitations may be your time, you may be your money, your education, your understanding of the market. So you need to remove them. Remove them how? You may work with the influencers. You may surround yourself in the business environment which you really want to achieve. You may want to enroll the free courses or paid courses on different platforms, or even on Inkclick. There are many courses which you can learn on Inkclick. So you can learn from them. And then once you remove them, then you need to, while you are working on your limitations, you can start to do the market validation of your idea. So market validation of idea meant that you will talk to the potential customer which you have already identified, and try to push your product. Try to ask them, if you get a product like this with the basic features, would you be happy? Would you be able to pay? They may be happy. They may tell you more problems, right? So you may have to note down everything. Don't think that the first idea that you get in your mind is the perfect idea. The idea will always be changing. The features and the product will always be will always be changing. Maybe the final product which comes out of your process will be completely different from the original product. That there are many businesses who started with something else but ended up with something really different. So you have to validate your market, validate your idea. Sometimes you may have to consolidate, add more features, or remove certain things which you may think is valuable, but the person who is actually going to use it does not think the same way. Then you have to refine your value proposition and target customer if based on the market validation. And then you will create a customer journey map. The customer journey map will define how you are the entire journey of the customer, starting from how they are aware about your product, then how you are acquiring them, how they are using the product, and then they become loyal to your product or services. Once you have done that, you will be having enough material to create a business model of your business. So business model will primarily conduct what are the unique things about your business, how you are charging them, how is your cost, and how you are going to make money. And then once you have that, you will be able to create a financial model. Which financial model means, basically you will be telling yourself in the next 3 to 5 years how how much money you are going to charge from the customers, how much expenses you will have to pay for acquiring that money that you are going to collect from your customers. What is the leftover for you, right? And then you will see whether the leftover is justifying the initial investment that you have. Every business require initial investment, whether in terms of money, your time, or the energy. So whether the money at the end is justified to support, to say that you need to have your investment or not. Once you have that, then you are ready to go to any kind of investor to ask for funding. So that's basically the summary or brief of what how the business is running in the how you can start the business, or how you can make the plans for your business.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Manish, sir. It was indeed the most insightful session we've all had. I'm sure all the students will agree. I didn't want this session to actually stop, and we didn't realize we actually crossed the time. And but it was so insightful. I could see a lot of involvement, very important questions coming from students. I believe a lot of students who are working on projects. We had this age group. They were guided by their teachers. There are groups of students who've joined in, and I'm sure with so much of skill coming from you, they've really taken a lot. And students, there were a lot of, I could see some great involvement and participation in the session today. I'm sure you have gained a lot after this session. For the recording, or you can imagine this was just a brief session by Mr. Manish. If you want detailed sessions, or you want more courses on what he is teaching in this area, you can log on to the platform Inkclick. I'll just repeat the entire process, the steps, how you will be going through this. So quite a few students who are already a part of Inkclick, you would have registered, you would have received your password on the registered email address. You would just need to log on. And thereafter, this is the screen that will come in front of you. You can fill up your profile. You can fill in your details. You can search for teachers you're looking at. You can search for Manish sir specifically for students who have attended today's webinar, and look out for his courses. This particular webinar will be available for free of cost on the platform. You may view, you may go through it again and again, go through the screens. I'm sure there is a lot that you can take up from this entire workshop, entire webinar. And thereafter, for further courses, for detailed courses, for more specific courses from him, you can search and purchase his courses as well. This entire recording will be present on Inkclick. And for students who have not yet registered on the platform, you have all filled in the Google form. You will be receiving an email from Inkclick today before 5 p.m. You can all log into the website www.inkclick.com, or download the app, and thereafter log in with the password that will be given to you. And thereafter, you can explore the platform. You can fill in your profile, search for teachers. For today's recording from Manish sir, you can view it for free. Yes, indeed, Mehak, I have been getting this, that it is indeed a very insightful session. Sir is available on the platform for a live session also. If you want to not purchase a recorded program, you want to have a one-on-one session with sir, you can do that. You can request for a one-on-one session or a group session that will also be facilitated, and the topic can be decided and the fee can be decided. There is a WhatsApp number which we are sharing on the platform. Ashirvad requests you to please share the WhatsApp number here.
It's also available on the website or on the apps as a widget.
It is available on the website and apps. We are putting the WhatsApp number over here. Whoever is interested to have a one-on-one session or a group session, or with maybe your parents or teachers, can connect on this WhatsApp, and we will connect you with Manish sir directly. The WhatsApp is available on the website and apps, and also it is on the, we're just putting the number on the chat as well. Students, any questions, please put it on the chat.
There are a lot of questions with regards to investment that people ask. It's more of a fear that it strikes our mind than anything else, and I'm sure Manish sir will address this more, because we have gone through the same ecosystem of when we started creating a product. So I correlate to whatever what Manish sir has been
Sorry,
saying.
Ankit, I'm just stopping you in between. You all learnt about how a startup works and how start from ideation to this. I would like Ankit to actually talk about how Inkclick got to this stage, from the ideation to this stage.
So like exactly what sir has been mentioning, you have to start off with the idea is first to identify what your strengths are and what your weaknesses may be. So you identify those things, you understand what the market is going through, you understand the trouble or the problem that you might want to be solving with your solution. Though that's the processes, or you do even a community survey to get to a point that okay, this idea is going to work or it's not going to work. Now that's just a thought process that you did, so it did not involve money. One. So I'm going to all relate it to and Manish sir, please step into it while I'm doing it as well. So the moment you create this idea, you've not involved anything related to money over here. It's all about your effort, your thought, your studies, your research about the product or your offering. Thereafter, you create a PPT, as simple as a PPT you want to create as a viable model that you want to present to the public who might be willing to get into the product. So you create a PPT, a presentation, which I'm sure you all do in from much earlier in school nowadays. So put out your product. How are you going to? What does it do? How does it help? How will you make money? Just put it in thoughts. Now, when you run those thoughts, run those thoughts with professionals, run these thoughts with the community, run these thoughts with people who are in the industry of making this business. You will be really surprised. Even at that stage, people will be willing to give you money to make that product. You will be really surprised. I can exactly quote you examples and people who were given millions of dollars at that time to make the product, even if that doesn't work at that time. If you are into technology, you want to make a product which is related to technology, start off slow, start off together, start off in your school, in your computer labs, in your hostels. You're going to get into college, you're going to do that. Half of the startups in India right now come out of college, within their dorm room, and they are invested out of their dorm room. So money should not be the factor that should hold down a thought process. If your thought process is there, if you're following, ticking the boxes which sir has laid down exactly in steps, the funding will happen sooner or later. And funding will of course accelerate your growth. I'm sure it's absolutely required, and it is imperative for the business to move from one level to the to a scalable level when everybody talks about it. But that should not hold your thoughts. But again, this should never be compensated or against schooling or again college or anything like that. That even if you don't put it directly into use into your particular business, your mindset, your personality, your mental outgrowth, mental abilities in creating that business comes directly with what you learn in school or what you learn in college. So that is absolutely important. And of course, if the business at a particular stage kicks off and is really taking so much of your time and making you learn more than what you would eventually through normal professional education, that's when people have a debate that am I needed to be formally educated or not. But again, formal education is absolutely important. It shouldn't. And time, there was a lot of you mentioned who put time as an important factor. Time is something that you will have to create if you have to have business. You like if you're doing a job, you do a job and you go back and the job is finished for the day. If you're doing a business, the day finishes but the job doesn't or the work doesn't. So there is no excuses to not having time. If you want to create something, if you are passionate about creating something, you will create it and you will have the time to do it. Be it exams, you will still do the exams, you will still socialize, but you will still create the business. Manish sir, add whatever you feel uh, could be,
Sir,
Yes, completely. Thank you, Ankit. I think what you are saying is absolutely correct, and I'm excited to learn about the Inkclick's journey. One thing that I would say is business is not a 9 to 5 job, or is not a like in a school you go by periods, right? You learn science, you learn mathematics, you learn this by a certain hour, and then after that you get a homework, you finish, and then you are happy. Business is different. Business is something which runs 24/7. It runs. give you my example. I'm working full time as a CEO with a hotel company here. Plus, I'm doing my own business. So I don't have holidays. Unfortunately, on Saturday, Sunday, I'm working. Like now, I'm working. Plus, I'm even my day starts at 8 o'clock and it does not finish. I have to finish it forcefully. That okay, now enough is enough. By 8 o'clock, I don't want to be working anymore. I think the most important thing in the business is your passion, is your energy, is your purpose, why you want to do something, and how much money and how much time actually you want to involve. Money will come. And maybe you will see nowadays the startups lose money for the first 2 years, 3 years. Even then they keep on getting funded, right? I was just hearing that sometime back Byju's get another $400 million. Even though they are not yet profitable, they are still getting funding. Why they are getting funding? Because not because they are making money today, because they have a prospect to make money 10 years down the line.
Absolutely. Something which people, a lot of the people do not understand is you do not, most of the businesses that you hear right now are not profitable for the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years of their existence. But they still are very strong and big businesses because of what they could be in the next few years. And that's how finance works. That's a separate topic altogether, valuations and how finance would be molded of a company, of an organization. But that should again not hold you down. If you have an idea, if you want to pursue something, you must try to do that. And we are in a great time, we are in a great country to be in, because we are a growing country. If you were somewhere
We are the largest.
exactly, you
We are
have the
the largest
population.
ecosystem.
Again, also one more thing to add, you should never be even if there is a similar product in the market, you just need to find the similar, you need to find a better audience, or a more focused audience. You can probably do mold a slight difference, and then you'll still be a successful business. I'll give you an example by what Flipkart or Snapdeal were. They were absolutely taken off the idea of what Amazon or was eBay was doing in the US. They picked that idea, built it off a college room. They were funded within the college room, and they're unicorns. They're multi-billion-dollar companies right now. So it was effectively copies is a harsh word to say, but it was an inspired model. But it works because our population required it. End of story. So, right. I think, I can keep going on, and Manish sir will also keep going on. We've held the kids for a very long time.
Yeah. And students, as we were talking, like, again, we talk about growth journey today on Inkclick. You can connect with 24,000 students across Delhi and NCR from different schools, from your school and from other schools. So search their names, you can connect with them. And this is the journey which I'm talking about just in last 2-3 months.
Right. If there are no more questions, then of course we like to give it a wrap. Thank you again, Manish sir, for your insightful chat this afternoon. And students, and of course, Usha ma'am is right here. She's the head of our academics. She's been observing. Ma'am, you're mute.
Hi. Can I speak?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
It was wonderful. It was really good, excellent. And I'm sure children have really benefited, and especially the senior students, 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, it's really excellent for them. And I'm very happy that, so many sites have been, given to them. If they want, they can go to that. And I would like to really thank Manish Gupta ji. Mr. Manish, it's really excellent. And I'm sure children are going to not to leave you. They'll be really following you. And you'll find a lot of followers who are going to come to you. You have already given them ideas that don't worry about money. Money will come, because the children normally get worried only about that, that they have an idea, but they don't know how to do it. And I'm happy, the best part is Ankit and Parul, that even the junior ones, the 6th, 7th, 8th are also asking, which
Absolutely.
I really thought, even they had an idea, they wanted to know. how to start, and I'm happy. At least they'll come with some ideas, and they'll do it, and very good,
The
excellent.
ecosystem is absolutely ready. The country is welcoming it. The population is
Yes.
welcoming it. We should be
Even the
fearless. We have to.
Delhi government is talking about only this. Now they're talking about that we should have the entrepreneurs and we should have the skill-based knowledge and all that. So I'm sure what we are talking is really going to further help and see to it that the things are taken in the right direction.
And
Very good.
generally, like sir had mentioned, LinkedIn as a very important platform to
Yeah.
get onto.
Yes.
Everybody has been, focusing on LinkedIn as a professional and a job seeking environment, which is definitely there. And that's the whole purpose why Inkclick was created. It was created to give you this environment and that stepping stone to get onto LinkedIn. Like
Yes.
if you want to start off right now, have these discussions on Inkclick. You will find educators and professionals like Manish sir on the platform to
Or
talk and
Usha
chat
ma'am on
about.
the platform.
Exactly. And then thereafter, when
Yeah.
you're ready to step onto that job circuit or actually, move on to that next step of post college is when you would get more value also out of LinkedIn. So you got to start off early now.
Yeah, yes. And here I'm available for examinations, because these days my mind is into that, because children are also, today only the result has come out for 10th and 12th. And even these junior children, if they have any queries, any questions related to examinations, how to appear, how to study, what to do, I'm always available. And, they can write to us and we will be connecting with them.
So students, thank you so much today. And thank you, sir, Manish sir. Thank you, Usha ma'am.